The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by the UMass 5 College Credit Union, dedicated to creating access to financial well-being for local people, businesses, and communities. Insured by NCUA, umass5.coop.
Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
And I'm Monty Belmonte, and we are just down the road from our usual digs in a brand new space that is doing really innovative work.
Including collaborating with a festival that will also be happening just down the road from our usual digs.
In this space as well, and today we are broadcasting live from the Hope Center for the Arts, a brand new facility in downtown Springfield, serving as a hub for arts education for local youth, many of whom join us in this theater right now. Let me hear you applaud.
Hey, check it out. They're real.
Yeah, they're real. This is officially the largest audience we've done a live show for, I think. So thank you, youth of Springfield.
And hopefully a little beyond the local youth and families, says this particular Springfield resident. We'll learn more about this space and also about the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival, which is happening in downtown Springfield this weekend as well.
So later in the show, we'll hear from a band that's performing in that festival in this facility. We're taking full advantage of all the technology and possibilities the space offers. That band is Waterseed.
And from festival founder Kristen Neville of Blues to Green and Evan Plotkin, who's also involved in the festival, about this year's festival and some of the other performers you can catch in Stern Square over the course of the weekend.
But we'll start by talking about this unique facility here and the folks helping to run it.
And run sadly is what founder Bob Bolduc had to do right before we went live, so we'll have to get that story from him later.
But it does mean that we get to focus on its very imminent present. And with us to talk about the programming and development of this Hope Center are Kyle Homestead and Isaac Eddy, who's running around somewhere in this theater. I see him.
Yeah, he's coming to the stage now. Isaac Eddy is a Vermont native who's taught at Northern Vermont University and is a new transplant to the 413. Isaac spent 12 years as a member of Blue Man Group, including some years as its captain, and formed the immersive theater group Fixed Agency. He's a writer and a cartoonist in addition to all of these things, and comes to the Hope Center for Youth and Families as artistic director.
Kyle Homestead began his career at the iconic Iron Horse Music Hall in Northampton, which we've also broadcast live from, once in the dark, where he served as house engineer and later technical director. He then went on to tour internationally with numerous artists and established laudable productions who've been responsible for the Mill Pond concert series and are the driving force behind De La Luz soundstage up the road in Holyoke. Here at the Hope Center, he bears the title of technical director once again.
And you may hear another voice asking questions, because with us to participate for the first time ever is Danielle Felton, a member of NEPM's Media Lab team with a passion for jazz and more.
Thank you all for inviting us here to this Hope Center, Kyle and Isaac.
Thank you so much. It's a total honor to be on the Fabulous 413.
Yes, and wonderful to have you here on our stage in our first week of opening the Hope Center for the Arts.
Yeah, this is day 2.
This is exactly day 2, and all these wonderful children have been here now for 2 days.
How many wonderful children are out there? Clap. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. You never know when you're going to get interactive. It's immersive theater like Isaac Eddy's big into.
Exactly.
For people who've been in the area for a while, they may remember City Stage.
That's right. So this is the former City Stage, which closed some years ago. Many people have memories. In fact, I performed here as a child.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember, but I remember working up in the costume shop with my favorite costumer, who was Angel, who used to work in the Valley for a long time. Anyway, the City Stage was home to many wonderful productions over the years, and then unfortunately closed and has been a vacant space for some years.
Was holding a bunch of the city's parking records, I hear?
There may still be a few parking records in the nether regions of this building.
According to the Mass Live article, which is great and I encourage you all to read, is a storage facility for old parking tickets for the city of Springfield.
Yes.
Good
yes.
riddance.
Good to have a tangible record of that.
Good insulation.
It's like your permanent record. And here it is. It's right here in this building. So then tell us what happened to revive this space. And we were lucky to get a tour from the aforementioned Bob Bolduc, but you're his spokesperson because he totally ditched us before the show began after giving us a wonderful
He
tour.
basically was like, "It's been nice to see you. I'm very busy."
Bye.
Well, Bob has an incredible vision. He saw this space and saw an opportunity to bring this space back to life as a center for arts and culture and all kinds of things that could happen, really with the goal of supporting youth in Springfield. he decided that he wanted to be his legacy to give back to youth. And so he started the Hope for Youth and Families Foundation a few years ago, and the foundation runs several wonderful programs. They have a reading program that has done incredible things throughout the school system. And when he saw this facility and saw a need, he said, well, we're going to do that. And as somebody who has spent his life building things and developing property, he has that skill set and was able to just roll up his sleeves and jump into this place, which was cavernous, all kinds of reaches of this building that had never been discovered before. There were all kinds of storage rooms and stuff that were never really utilized. And he went through and figured out how to squeeze every square inch out of this building. And now we have 40,000 square feet here of an arts center that is both has 2 performance spaces. So we've got our 500 cap auditorium here. We've got a black box theater, but we have music rehearsal rooms. We have spaces for the Youth Symphony, which is becoming a resident company. We have media labs where kids are learning to do video editing and audio editing. We have a fabulous art studio and a photography studio. We have creative writing programs here. We have dance studios here with sprung floors. So this whole building has just been opened up and turned into this incredible 40,000 square foot facility that has welcomed all the youth sitting here from Springfield in to learn amazing, wonderful things.
Who are all the youth that are sitting here?
I think it's lovely that it's not just performing arts space. Like there's visual art space and there's creative writing
right.
too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. It's all kinds of arts, and I should say that it's both performing arts, visual arts, creative writing, but also technical arts. I began this Technical Arts Institute at De La Luz in Holyoke, and a lot of the inspiration for this project came out of that, and we came here. And so we have these incredible technical systems, but what's more important is we have young people who are learning things like how to do sound, how to do lights, projection, video classes, audio mixing, all these types of things. And as we look forward to an incredible season of productions, we've got all kinds of incredible music coming in the fall, and theater and dance. There are going to be kids who are learning and doing after-school programs here, then being involved in the production of all of these things behind the scenes. And a lot of learning is going to go on, and we're really looking forward to developing the future talent pool for the production industry here.
I mean, as a former tech kid, there are a few things as empowering, as much as I love being on stage, few things more empowering than learning how to do lights, learning how to basically be an electrician for a stage, and being able to build stuff, and knowing all of that before you get out into the world because of theater.
Absolutely. And as someone who's worked in that industry for a long time, I can tell you that we need more talent. In Western Massachusetts, we are always running out of sound engineers and lighting engineers. And so we're so excited to start to become an industry hub with partners like De La Luz. We're working with Westfield State. We're really trying to develop a program so that young people who are interested in the technical arts have a pathway to really step into that field.
That is Kyle Homestead, who is the technical director here at the brand new Hope Center, the former City Stage in Springfield, which has just opened 2 days ago, with hundreds of kids coming and learning all of these facets of the arts, and is also going to be one of the locations for the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival, which is happening this weekend, which is new for that festival to have an indoor location like this, and so that'll be exciting. I'm sure we'll talk about some of the artists that are going to be coming up with Kristen Neville and Evan Plotkin when we talk, but who are you excited to see in this space as part of the Jazz and Roots Festival this weekend, Kyle?
Boy, well, we have 3 nights here, Thursday, Friday, and all day Saturday, and I have to say I'm excited about all of the things. So on Thursday, we have Gabby Moreno, who's a multi-Grammy winning artist.
She wrote the Parks and Rec theme, I believe.
Yes, and she's going to be opening this theater as the first performer to really step on this stage.
You mean after us?
And do it, yeah. After
Okay.
you, yeah, fair enough.
You're right. Thanks.
Anyway, that's going to be a fabulous concert here, and it's free. So we're really excited for everybody in Springfield to come out and just come in and see what has happened here. On Friday night, we've got Mitch Shakur, who, of course, was the band leader for Joe Cocker for quite some time, has put together an all-star cast of original members from Joe Cocker's band, and they're going to be doing this sort of retrospective or tribute to Joe Cocker, which is really going to be fantastic. And opening up, we've got Joe Salins. So that's going to be Friday night. Again, it's free, and we're really hoping people will come out and take advantage of that. And then you're going to be talking to this incredible band, Waterseed, who is bringing a project here that I am so excited about, which is called Journey to Funkstar. The inspiration was a comic book, and they're bringing their sort of futuristic funk music for 3 performances on Saturday, which you can find the schedule on the Springfield Jazz and Roots website. And that is an immersive multimedia production where there is music, there's a band on stage, but we have giant immersive projection here in this facility, and everybody's going to be diving into a futuristic 3D world as part of that. So that is a wonderful, it's going to be, the music is phenomenal, and it's a great show for families, for adults, for everybody to come check out. And I should mention that in this house right now, also we have Springfield native hip-hop artist Fabian. Let's hear it for Fabian. And Fabian is actually on faculty here at the Hope Center for the Arts teaching hip-hop writing, which is really exciting. We have a bunch of kids here who have been taking classes with Fabian. And Fabian will also be performing on Saturday. After each of the Funk Star performances, Fabian will be in the Black Box with a local b-boy dance troupe and perhaps even some kids who are here in the audience today.
Oh,
Are there kids in the audience today? Kyle Homestead, technical director here for the Hope Center. We mentioned Bob Bolduc, and we were getting a tour from him earlier. We saw all the incredible things still in development as we were only on day 2 of this endeavor. But we hear a lot of sad billionaire stories in the world, and this is a happy billionaire story. And it's probably better that he isn't here to have to face this kind of line of questioning in person. But I'm sure you've talked to him about why he decided, you know, he was famous for the Pride gas stations, amongst other things, and invested that fortune into this building and ultimately into the youth of the city of Springfield. When you talk to him about his vision for this, as he was pretty hands-on when we got here,
Yep.
you know, directing the person with the mop to go this way and the bag of that to go that way, what do you glean from him about why this was something that was important for him to invest his fortune into?
You know, I think Bob feels a real connection to the youth and families of Springfield, and particularly because he has spent so many years employing and working with families and seeing young people and families come through, you know, the gas stations that he managed, and working with a lot of youth. My friend Stephen Carey, for example, who runs Focus Springfield, worked for Bob when he was a teenager, pumping gas at a gas station, and I think having spent his life working with families that live in the city, and particularly with young people, he really wanted to turn around and make it his legacy to support the youth, and understands the vital nature of the arts and all the ways that the arts can lift people up and support the health of the city and the region and the individuals who come here.
Can I say too about Bob's devoted first for a few years on helping the literacy of the youth in Springfield with Hope for Youth and Families, and he's now broadened that to arts literacy. And I just appreciate so much that he sees the value of what the arts does for the individual as well as the collective, and he's decided to actually put money in it, especially at a time when we're seeing so many cuts to very vital arts organizations across the country.
Absolutely. And we've talked about all too many of them on the show. So it is, again, inspiring when you hear a billionaire story that is saying, no, the arts is something as important as reading. It's not just STEM, it's STEAM.
Exactly.
Or meats, as I like to
STEAM.
say.
STEAM over meats. What has been different from like running the board at festivals with thousands of people, which you've done on multiple occasions, versus running and opening a facility that has thousands of square feet?
And hundreds of teenagers.
Yeah, this project has been going on, really, I think Bob first walked in here close to 2 years ago, but it's really in earnest for, you know, a year and a half, and the speed at which this redevelopment has happened has been incredible, and I can't believe how quickly he's been able to go through and transform this building into the beautiful state that it is now. And but as part of that team who has been building and putting this together and working towards this very week where we opened our doors to several hundred kids, I have to say that putting on a festival is easy by comparison. It is much harder to open a facility of 40,000 square feet and be ready.
Why
and
is
be
it so
ready.
much harder?
We have so many pieces to this facility, so many different disciplines we're supporting. The shipments that have been rolling in of instruments and chairs and just all the things that we need to make a physical space come alive is really different than, when you have a festival, you have a stage that's prepackaged, it rolls up, there's trucks that bring all the right things, and they all know how to do that. This is really different, building a school from the ground up.
And it's also a feeding center, right? So that you become a federally allocated place for people.
And again, this is part of Bob's vision. He felt like it was really important to provide a full spectrum of support for the youth that would come here. And so he negotiated to have this be a federally funded food site. So we open our doors at 7:30 in the morning, and we have young people who are coming and having breakfast here and having lunch here. And it's all free, as well as all of the arts programming here is free for the youth of Springfield.
It's pretty unbelievable, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that in just a second. Kyle, stick with us, but we're going to bring Isaac Eddy, the artistic director, into the conversation. And coming up, we'll hear about this weekend's Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival from one of its founders, Kristen Neville of Blues to Green, as well as Evan Plotkin, one of the event co-producers. And we'll hear one of the acts that will use this particular stage that we are on right now as part of that festival, Waterseed.
And up next, more with the brand new Hope Center for Youth and Families, and hopefully a question from Danielle.
Oh yeah, you're listening to the Fabulous 413 live from the Hope Center in Springfield on 88.5 NEPM.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Window World of Western Mass, a local family-owned and operated complete exterior remodeling business offering windows, siding, gutters, and more. WindowWorldOfWesternMA.com.
Nailed it. And we are live with the Fabulous 413 from the brand new Hope Center in Springfield.
Where we are with Isaac Eddy, artistic director, and Kyle Homestead, who is technical director. We may get two young students up here, but I want to let Danielle have a chance to ask her question. So, come on up.
Take it away, Danielle. I'll stand up.
Mic shifting.
Hi.
Danielle is from NEPM's Media Lab, if you missed the beginning of the show.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Monty and Cleese, for having me on the show. And it's such a pleasure to be in the Hope Center for the Arts. And just as a person that teaches media education, it's so, and a creative, it's so glad to be in a space where the youth can learn for free, and hearing that this is going to be a place where people can come to eat, and just right in the heart of downtown Springfield. But my question for you is, what does hope look like to the people that you serve every day, and how are you helping them reclaim that?
Oh boy, this is where I think you should hear from the youth. We have actually asked some questions as we've begun this program about why young people are here, and the answers have been really compelling. I don't know if I can do that justice.
Yeah, it's. I think the question, it comes down to how do all of us need to ask, why are we doing this work? Who is it for? Is it to prop myself up? Is it for personal reasons, or is it truly for the people that we meant it to be for? And if it's for them, we need to offer these classes and these ways for them to express in ways that they want to. And we need to offer all of the elements of the arts for them to be able to see their whole selves as a human, as a joyful human. And all we have to do is provide the canvas, provide the scaffolding for them to be able to explore that. And I think it just comes back down to just representation in all forms, and make sure that they see themselves in their teachers, and they see themselves in all elements of this space here.
I think that is the hope, the representation. It gives us all hope, because a lot of times you don't really see people in the fields that you all are teaching here. And by having people that are local artists, everybody local, I think, okay, yes, I see someone that looks like me, and I know that y'all know that you can do it too. So
and thrive here while doing it.
Yeah, I still, that's a big thing, because a lot of people, we have a lot of talent in Springfield, and a lot of us leave and go other places. So it's good for us as creatives to come, be born and raised here, teach here, and then teach the next generation, because life is not endless.
There's been a lot of Springfield pride in there in our first 2 days. And Fabian kicked it off with his rap, and on day one, everybody say 3 when I say 4-1, 4-1-3. It's great.
Living in the 413. And it's fabulous.
Shout outs.
Thank
you so much. We'll hear more from Danielle in just a little bit. Monty, you've got questions for Isaac, I do believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I do too, but you should start.
Yes. Well, no, you could feel free to start. But let's learn about how did the Hope Center find the hundreds of kids that are in the theater with us right now? In this first endeavor of this project, how did they apply? You know, how did you, were there more than you could accommodate, then you had to turn some away? How did that all work?
It was a really impressive task, and I was only a small part of that. But Bob and his team at HYF literally went to almost every single high school to recruit, to let folks know that this, one, is an arts program for them, and two, no, you don't have to pay, it's free. The whole point of this arts program is access. And so we had to really push hard for folks to understand that, right? Because we're so used to having these programs. There's all these gates in the way to get into these programs, either by audition or by these confusing applications, or most often it's payment, or I have to take off work to be able to come, or I don't have access to food when I'm there, all those things. And so we need to be as clear as possible that there's just that it's accessible, hopefully, to everybody. And pushed really hard for that messaging. And then we had a pre-application where we just wanted to know what interests students had in terms of the arts. Well, at the same time, we knew that we wanted to offer everything, right? And we're not looking to have a hyper-focused conservatory approach. We want students to come in, get better at the things that they love, but also try new things, experiment, fail, collaborate, and learn all these other artistic expressions just by being in the room with other students and other artists. So after we got that big list, there was a kind of a moment where we weren't sure who from the pre-application was actually going to come to the space, and so there's a lot of questions that we had on the first day, which was yesterday. And thankfully, folks came. A lot of people came, and at first we were thinking that it was going to be half days, primarily a junior high in the first half and high school in the second half, and then we realized a lot of students, after they finished the half day, they asked, "Can I stay?" And a lot of students that came just for the second half, they said, "Tomorrow, can I come in the morning?" And we said, heck yes, like we wanted open to everybody, so we are kind of softening on that age range and also just wanting them, if they want to be in here, we want it to be available to them. So that was basically how that was born. And how I got tied in is Kyle brought me in to think about what kind of courses we could teach. And this was months ago. And he brought me into the stage. And my mind was blown. I haven't been on a stage like this for a while. And the first thing I thought is, my goodness, this would be a great stage for Blue Man Group because of this.
Yes, please.
This just beautiful thrust and the intimacy of the balcony and just the tech possibilities with the giant cyc. It's so intimate. There's not a bad seat in this house. It's just a really, really special space. And after we took a tour, I met Bob, and I wrote to Bob that night. I said, "Do you have an artistic director?" And Bob said, "I don't know what that is, but if it could explain to me what that is, let's talk." And we've been in conversation since, and I've really been so grateful that I've been able to be a part of the vision build along with Kyle, and especially a part of the artistic educational end, which is certainly my biggest passion.
I know that you're only 2 days in, but how has it felt different from teaching higher ed, which is what you used to do, like right after Blue Man Group?
That is a great question. I think about this a lot. You know, what are the differences? In some ways, my background is in theater, so I teach most of my classes are in performing arts and improv, and in some ways, everybody's the same, right? Like there's some teenagers that take on improv way easier than adults or higher ed students, but in other ways there's a ton of differences. And I've found mostly that I've had the privilege of teaching high school age students in more open settings where there's not as much required assessment. I've been hired as a teaching artist rather than just a teacher, and I've been brought in to bring my own professional experience into the room and share that with the students and really get them just to open up and find new areas of their own performance expression. So I haven't been bogged down by a lot of the like having to defend why one should improv or defend what the importance of theater in a kid's life. You know, just like you said, when you're in theater, you learn so many things that apply to so many parts of your life. And so I teach at the Governor's Institute on the Arts in Vermont for 2 weeks every summer, and I've done that for 20 years. I was a student there, it changed my life. And I've had the privilege of applying that openness of teaching here and also to Lighthouse Holyoke, which is where I met Kyle, where I'm the theater director there. I just started that last year, and I've been given that kind of openness and that ability to teach that way as well. And that said, in higher ed, I love teaching in higher ed. What was really difficult for me was seeing at so many state colleges so much funding getting cut and faculty lines getting cut, and expecting to be doing more with less. And at some point, the students are the ones that suffer from that, and it was really, really hard for me to see. So I'm an arts advocate. I'm going to scream for arts funding wherever I am, and I won't stop.
Would you scream for arts funding wherever you are?
Scream for arts funding!
That is the student audience here at the Hope Center, brand new, day 2 here in Springfield. And we are with the artistic director, Isaac Eddy, and the technical director, Kyle Homestead. Isaac, when we took the tour with Bob a little bit earlier, he was introducing us to, or at least pointing us to, some of the teachers, the people that are teaching the different disciplines here. They are being paid, so that's another thing that can be rare in the world of the arts, where you have a skill that is valuable.
You want to be paid
on.
for your
You would
art.
like to be paid, but there's no one to pay you. So that is another thing that Bob is funding through this organization. How did you all find who would teach the different disciplines here? And is there that big a talent pool to be drawing from that can then hand it off to the next generation here in the 413?
There's a giant talent pool here. This is one of the reasons why my wife's from Leverett, and I love the Pioneer Valley, and we've actually tried to relocate here for a few years, and we finally managed to do it this past year. And one of the main reasons why we wanted to come here is because of that talent pool, and it's just so inspiring to be here. But Kyle, I want to get your perspective on this too. One thing that you said about teaching artists getting paid, this was a big push for Kyle and myself when we were thinking about developing this arts program. It's not only that they're getting paid, but they're hired full-time for a month. It's not just come in for these 45 minutes, thank you, you're paid for that 45 minutes. We're here from 9 to 4, from 9 to 5, doing the thing, and we're able to collaborate with each other, we're able to teach our classes, and we're getting compensated for all of that work, which we're really proud of. But it was not difficult finding teaching artists. I mean, we put the word out and we got a bunch of folks interested, and it was a matter of who, just again, like what we're talking about representation, who would be the best teachers for these students, and who was available, and who could fit into all of the different disciplines that we wanted to make sure to represent.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, it's been an incredible, the group of teaching artists has been here working with us for the past couple of weeks to put together the program, and it's an amazing group of really dedicated individuals who are really focused on the experience that young people are having here. And I think one of the things we're all most excited about, and one of the unique capabilities we have here, is this interdisciplinary work together. We have a stage to present things on. We have, hip-hop writing, we have a percussion class, we have making beats in the studio, and so as each class is busy learning things and doing work in a particular discipline, we're also opening up these opportunities where, somebody can make beats and somebody in a dance class can work with those beats and choreograph something to it, and then we can bring it to life on this stage. Yep. We have folks working, doing incredible visual art in the studio, and then we have the ability to bring that art and make it part of dynamic presentations in this immersive projection here. So there's really, really fun things that we're doing, and that all of the capabilities that we have here are unlocking. And we're really excited. This is probably, somebody who tours quite a bit, this is probably one of the most technologically advanced theaters in the Northeast at this point. And we're going to really leverage all the tools that we have.
And we're building what I'd like to think of as a manifesto for arts education that I hope that we can honestly pass as a template for other organizations. And it's built on experimentation, collaboration, and art for art's sake.
I know that you're 2 days in. I keep saying this, but it bears repeating. And that the program is starting during the summer when everybody's got a lot of time, but what is it going to look like here at the Hope Center when the school year starts back up?
That's what I get really excited about. And I just had the conversation with these students today about we want to take care of this space because we're at the beginning of a legacy, right? That these are the first students of something that I see going on for a very long time. And it's not just summer programming, it's going to be in the fall and the winter as well. And I think, for me, I think what's exciting about the potential for fall programming is we will do even more performing artists integration into the arts education. So we will have regular teaching artists like we do now providing after-school programming for youth to come in and learn and create their own work. But at the same time, whenever there's someone performing on the stage, we will have the opportunity for them to collaborate with our students as well. And we would love it if it could be pushed a little bit further than one single clinic or a Q&A into something I could imagine an artist being like, this part of my show, I've always wondered if I could tweak it a little bit, or it's never really worked for me. What do you think we could do in this part of the show and really have them truly collaborate with our students?
Isaac, we have two students that you found out there that we're going to
Yes.
talk to real quick. Nasheen and Karyana, are you out there? Come up here,
Oh,
and
I see them
everybody
moving.
who is their colleague here at the Hope Center, give them a big round of applause.
It's difficult to get on this stage even if people can't see your faces.
What's that?
And it's difficult to get on the stage even if people aren't seeing your faces
Oh
over
yeah,
the
that's
radio.
right. So
'Cause
yeah,
we're
good.
on radio.
Thank you for
audio
encouraging
medium.
all of your colleagues here. Hi, which one of you is Nasheen?
Hi,
How's day 2 been?
it's been good.
Tell us about what got you interested in this and what you've done so far.
So, the reason why I signed up for the Hope Center is because since I was little, I had the interest in the arts, in singing, in creating writing, creating books, creating poetry, because I've learned since I was little, since 3rd grade, I have been bullied for the way I look, for the way I act. And it hasn't been easy ever since. I've struggled with mental health issues, and if I'm going to be honest with all of you in this audience and through the radio, just recently this year, I've been told to go kill myself by an ex-friend, which wasn't fair to me. So once I started writing and getting all that emotion out through poetry and all that, it felt like it was a need to come here to feel like this could be a second home to me and to explore something I know I have in me, the talent I own. And creating poetry is one of my big things because I know how to write. And it just makes me excited that I get to share this space with everybody else and they can become like a family to me.
I think, yeah, there we go. I didn't even need to tell you. What about you, Karyana? Tell us about your experience coming here.
My experience coming here, it was amazing. The faculty here are very lovely. My first day here, my first impression of it was just wow. Like, looking at the auditorium, looking at the cafeteria, it's very compact, but very lovely looking. I don't know how to put it into words, but I really love it here. Like, this literally feels like a second home to me. And the reason
On
why
day 2 already.
Yeah, on day 2 already. That's what I'm saying. And the reason why I decided to come here was because I wanted to do acting, specifically being like a film actress, because I've always seen myself being an actor in a screen. And when I was alone at home, I would always act. I would always do like these improvs when I was at home, especially because it helped me express myself, because I didn't feel heard at home, so it helped me connect in a way. And so like I want to get further in the acting field and actually, you know, be a star out there.
I love it. You're on a stage already. Let's hear it for Karyana. Well, thank you both for joining us on this show. It is, I'm inspired by what you've already done and what you've already put
I'm
yourself out there.
genuinely surprised you're not crying already.
I know, I'm trying to hold it in right now, but it's called the Hope Center for a reason, and I think it's giving me hope about all of you and all of you out there for what you're going to bring to the world.
I mean, hearing this, I can't wait to see both of your work and everybody in this room. Like, I'm excited to see what you're going to make.
Yes. Another round of applause for your two colleagues, Nasheen and Karyana.
Thank you for having me here.
No,
Thank
our
you so
pleasure.
much. Okay, now that we have the proverbial lay of the land and the facilities here at the Hope Center for Youth and Families, time to hear one of the bands that will use these facilities this weekend as part of their performance at the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival. Waterseed joins us next.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Eastworks, a 500,000 square feet dedicated to artists, entrepreneurs, and nonprofits where community happens. Learn more at eastworks.com. The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Northeast Solar, homegrown in Hatfield, Massachusetts, and providing energy savings for their customers for over 10 years. Learn more at northeast-solar.com.
We're live from the brand new Hope Center today on the Fabulous 413, celebrating both the facility opening 2 days in and the upcoming Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival, which is happening this weekend.
And this next group is one of those performing at the festival, but as if to be the center of the Venn diagram because their work is at the center of music and technology. They'll be performing in the theater that we're currently in, the Hope Center, this weekend.
Waterseed is the band, and their work, Journey to Funk Star, is an immersive sci-fi funk concert experience powered by the New Orleans band Waterseed. Built around the concept of a funk-fueled galaxy in peril, the show features an epic narrative, original music, and animated characters like the fearless Catalina and the villainous Queen Barbarella.
Love it. Set in a distant future where sonic energy is the universe's lifeblood, Funk Star City is under threat from sound harvesting overlords. Only the groove, guided by Waterseed and the Funk Star crew, can restore harmony through interactive visuals, original animation, and a live funk soundtrack. Audiences are pulled into the story as active participants.
With us to talk about their work and maybe give us a little taste as well are Lou Hill and Denise Love of the band Waterseed. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
Hey,
so
what's
much.
happening?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Happy to be here.
What's it been like breaking in this stage? Because y'all are going to be some of the first ones on it.
It's going to be amazing.
It's
been
gonna be
fun.
an honor.
We've been here maybe 24 hours now, so but we've spent at least I think 6 or 7 of those hours being in this room. So probably, but that was just yesterday. We had today too, so we've been here, working. So 15 of those 24 we've been here.
In
So
this
it's been
theater.
great. It's a great
feels
space
like,
too.
Feels like you're home now too, I guess.
That's right.
Kind of
That's
has-
Second
right.
home.
That's right. I get lost though. It's big.
You were saying New Orleans is such an incredible music town, and part of the origin story for this Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival that we'll hear about in just a little bit. But you were saying that New Orleans lacks a space like this space is aiming to be.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of musical spaces in New Orleans, but nothing that combines media expression and all of these things. So when we took a tour of the place yesterday, the things that are in this building are, I have never seen it like that before, and I've gone to a lot of musical education places in New Orleans, but nothing on this level. So kudos, you guys are doing a great job. So congratulations to all the students here too.
Talk a little bit about incorporating Afrofuturism into your music for this project.
Yeah, so that part is interesting. I don't know, I don't think about it from, and it is in the category of Afrofuturism, but I just kind of feel like we're being ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And it just happens that way. So we've always been into comic books, video games, sci-fi, fantasy, all that, so we've always been into that. And in the way it all happened, we created a comic book. The comic book took off. It was just something we wanted to do. And we were approached by another partner. It's like, what would you guys want to do if you made the craziest event that you could possibly make? And we said we would want to bring our comic book to life. And so 2.5 years later, this is where we are. So that's what we're doing.
So did you? Yeah, clap.
Thank you.
Did the band come up with the comic? Did you work with a comic book artist? Did you write the narrative and then collaborate that way?
So this is our second title. Our first title is called Sounds of the Wasteland. This title is called Journey to Funk Star. This title is based off a comic that myself and the keyboardist, who isn't here yet, came up with. We were on tour. We toured Russia a few years ago, and we had a lot of downtime. And so we was like, we don't call ourselves rock stars because we're not necessarily rock. And so it came up with the concept of call ourselves Funk Star. And then Gentleman Sharp, the keyboardist, went somewhere and hung out and wrote this whole narrative about what that could possibly look like. And from there, we just started putting the ideas together, and everything came into being. So it was really nice.
So when people come here on this weekend, I think you're doing 3 free performances here, which are, accepting donations, but they're open to the public. What will they experience as they sit here in this very theater, the Hope Center?
Wow. So it's
boil your whole
You can
show.
answer that literally or figuratively, I guess.
Boil your whole show down to like a couple of sentences.
Well, no, it's like a wow because we're on this side of it. We're on the side of the tech, the music, our expression. What's so important to us is that, and I'll answer the question, I'm getting there, I promise, but we were in a position where we were touring like 250 plus days a year. It's a lot of work. Cross up and down the country many times, and I think we were getting to the point where we really wanted to be in a position to present a show that we wanted to present. Because when you go to different venues, you just don't know what you're going to get. You walk in, okay, we got to modify this. It's like, how do we get to a place where we can actually present our art on a higher level, get the images in our head out into the world? So when we present it, I never know what people are going to say. We get the reviews from people like, I didn't know it was going to be this crazy. I didn't know it was going to be that. So it's a hard question to answer because it's like every time we do the show, we are entertained by the reviews that people have. This is what our responsibility is. This is phase 2 of it. We've done the show 3 times in New Orleans in the past 2 years, and this is the first time it's leaving New Orleans. So this is, our first one outside of New Orleans. So round of applause here, and it couldn't be at a better place. And we're gonna talk to some of these students too. We're here all week, so we're gonna come bombard some of your classes. But with that, it's just our responsibility is to upgrade the show every time. So we have this whole new thing we're gonna start working on tomorrow that has never been done before for our shows that is gonna debut here and is gonna be amazing. So that's what we do. We just keep ramping it up and keep going from there.
NEPM's Danielle Felton from the NEPM Media Lab. You have a question for Waterseed performing at the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival right here in the Hope Center in Springfield?
Absolutely. Well, first, I love that you turned a comic book into an immersive experience and bringing books and music and bringing them to life. So congrats on that, and congrats on being in Western Mass for the first time. You're all here at the Hope Center of Arts, a space that focuses on young creatives who are indeed watching us right now. One of them may be thinking, hey, this is something that I'd like to get into, whether that's comic book writing or being up on the stage. What's one truth about the industry or your music or your comic book that you would want them to hear?
I want to answer a small portion of this, then I'll let Denise finish it up. The music industry in some ways has imploded a few times, it feels like now. We've been in it for a long time, and I think that for us, we're creatives, we create. And I was watching a movie, I think it was a movie or a TV show with Rihanna and Donald Glover or something like that. It was something that came out, I think, on Amazon or something.
I saw that.
And I started watching, I started thinking, man, Donald Glover just isn't waiting. He's doing rap, he's writing, it's like he's not waiting. And we've always had these ideas. We're like, no, first we're gonna blow the music up and we're gonna go. But then something clicked and I was like, I'm not waiting anymore. And so that's when I just started, the band, we started just doing it all. We always had the comic book idea. We already had animated and video game. We always had, why are we waiting for one thing to happen? And I think if you're gonna be a creative now, you have to diversify your talent in ways because you don't know what's gonna happen in the film industry. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen, but if you're multifaceted in your creativity, just try to focus in on one thing. I'm not gonna say run around like you're crazy. Focus in on that ultimate love, but listen to the other creative things as well. Because like in music, you may not be the person on the stage, but you may be, our sound man makes more than the whole band and the individual musicians right now. He's the sound man, and he's not up front. No one knows his face, but he does a great job. So, there's so many ways you can still be connected and be involved in production in so many areas that I would say whatever creation you can dream up, the resources now more than ever are there for you to explore it, develop it, and hopefully monetize it. And Denise, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, and just coming up when I was you all's ages, the thing is about community as well. You know, the resources, as Lou said, but really just not being in a silo, you know, your tribes. Like how with the classes, you guys are having those breakout sessions, those connections are super important. The networking, meeting each other, trying to stay connected. You have technology, you have social media, and just making sure, because all of y'all are gonna be somewhere, but you'll need each other at the same time. So, you know, you have your instructors, but you're gonna have each other, and you just need to have that tribe, I believe. And that's something that I recognized, and recognize now more than ever.
That is Sinise Love and Lou Hill from the band from New Orleans, Waterseed. Are you at the Hope Center ready to get a taste of their journey to Funk Star right now? All right, well, let's get a taste of it right now here on the Fabulous 413.
Can we start up some? We have enough time to quick. Okay, everybody, this song is called Too Hot. Waterseed is a band about positivity no matter what we do. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna say one word 4 times. You're gonna repeat it. Everybody say yes. Yes. Positivity. Everybody say yes. Yes. Get your positivity. Everybody say yeah. Yeah. Positivity. Everybody say yes. Positivity. Now, this song is called Too Hot. Now, this is for when you may be feeling down, you may be feeling bad, you may be feeling some kind of way, and you need some affirmation. You need to be encouraged. You need to feel good about yourself. So this song is basically, we want you to think about you looking in the mirror. You're about to do something. You may not be feeling great, and you're just like, I think I look okay. No, you don't look okay. You look too hot. So everybody say, too hot. Too hot. Everybody say, I'm too hot. I'm too hot. I think we're ready. Are you ready? Ready. Here we go. What it do? Come on.
I like money, I like clothes, I like closing down the store. Serve me wine, serve me cheese, lay that fur across my knees.
Yeah.
You see me, thinking we too bad, I believe. Spin a hell and don't lighten up the street. Hit them begging and I give them what they please. Give me what I want. I can't stop, but I won't, so I don't. You can take your friends, they can put her to a vote. You can hit me, let me clear my throat. I'm too hot, I'm too hot.
Come on, wave yourself. You're too hot. Come on.
I'm too hot, I'm too hot.
In the back, come on. Put your hands up, everybody. Come on.
I'm too hot, I'm too hot, I'm too hot. I'm too hot,
Yeah.
I'm too hot, I'm too hot. Dip my fingers in my eyes, got my hands looking real nice. Got that grill in my mouth, cause I'm from the dirty south. Get into my bag and my check.
Cool.
Better send it out the way now.
Yeah.
Ain't no damn thing I change. Leg him around the way.
Then it goes like, clothes so tight, you can check that. When they don't even know it's from the thrift rack. Money so clean, you can lay back, stack 99 for some shoes.
I don't need that.
Come on. And you can look, but you can't touch. Warm you up from the cold rush. Got your body heat rising up, you can do your best, take your shot.
I'm too hot, I'm too hot, I'm too hot.
Everybody, come on, come on, come on, wave it out, come on, yeah.
I'm too hot,
Yeah,
I'm too
come on,
hot, I'm too
yeah.
hot, I'm too hot,
Come
I'm
on.
too hot, I'm too hot, I'm too hot.
And then you get your friends, and you get in the car, and you say, you can ride with me or get your money, come on. Yeah. You can ride with me or get your money, come on. Yeah, yeah. You can ride with me or get your money, come on. Hey, you can ride with me or get your money, come on. Last time, everybody, too hot, come on. Thank you so much.
Is Waterseed, who are playing the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival Saturday at 1, at 5, and at 7 right here at the Hope Center for the Arts in Springfield, the brand new Hope Center. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
What you missed in the radio land is the beautiful animated projections on the screens.
You got to come down to the Hope Center to see that on Saturday.
All right, well, in the last couple minutes here, we're going to talk with the founders and the creative force behind the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival in just a second. Kristen Neville and Evan Plotkin.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413, live from the Hope Center in downtown Springfield. As we are wont to do, we went way over time with everybody else getting too chatty. But we do want to, we'll promise you to talk off the air for future recordings and shows, but we are here with the founder of Blues to Green, Kristen Neville, and one of the co-producers, Evan Plotkin. Give us a rundown, Evan, some of the other highlights that we have not yet mentioned in the course of this show happening at the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival this weekend.
Well, Friday night we have a tribute to Joe Cocker, who is a very famous rock performer, blues artist who has a voice that is iconic, and his career was highly regarded during his life, and he's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he recently passed. So his music director and many of his band members are going to be here on this stage Friday night. The show will be opened up by Joe Solins, who's a local master drummer, performer, and he and Mitch, I'm sure, will do some work together to collaborate at some level. But it's going to be a really dynamite show. It's a very uplifting, kind of beautiful, nostalgic kind of performance with one of the great local artists, Mitch Chikora, doing that tribute.
Kristen Neville, founder of Blues to Green. Somebody else we haven't mentioned that you're very much looking forward to the Springfield Jazz and Roots Festival this weekend? In the minute we have left? In the 50 seconds we have left? Here, just take Lisa's microphone. Yeah. There we go.
I'm excited about a very large band that's coming from Puerto Rico. There's 15 members. They're called El Laberinto del Coco. So they're based in the traditional bomba music, but merged with more contemporary sounds of salsa and funk and hip hop. So there'll be a very energetic finale to our Saturday performances on the main stage in Stern Square.
Well, we're going to do an interview with you on this stage in just a quick second that you will hear tomorrow on the show if you're listening on the radio. But once again, from the Hope Center, brand new day 2 of this innovative theater in Springfield. A round of applause from all of you out there.
And I'm just going to throw out that previous guest on the show, Indea Owens, is going to be part of this festival, and seeing her in the cookout is going to be absolutely fantastic. On the next Fabulous 413, we get a chance to explore history and really cool ways, local and far away.
I'm Monty Belmonte.
I'm Khalees Smith.
We'll see you tomorrow on the Fabulous 413. Now everybody applaud.